What bhikkhus is the laying down of the burden. It is the remainderless fading away and cessation of that same craving, the giving up and relinquishing of it, freedom from it, non-reliance on it. This is called the laying down of the burden. Beginning of the Buddhist path is letting go. Middle of the Buddhist path is letting go. End of the Buddhist path is letting go. Laying down the burden is letting go. It's not an easy thing to do. You know, most of what I teach is stuff that I practiced, stuff that actually developed within my own practice. Like the whole thing with laying down the burden and Atlas and putting down your world. I did that to myself. That's how I practiced. And I remember when I was first starting to, when it first kind of came to me and I first started doing it, when I laid down my world, when I put down the burden, there was fear. I watched fear in my mind. Oh no, I can't let go of this just yet. Right? But I alleviated that fear by doing what I do in my guided meditations. I reminded myself, it's okay. Well, I don't call you guys stupid in the guided meditations, but for myself, it's like, okay, it's okay, man. If you really want to, you can pick up the stupid burden again after the end of this meditation. And then my mind's like, oh, okay, I feel better about it. I can let it go because I know I'm going to be able to pick it back up later. All right, that's the mind. That's it. We have our attachments and our grasping. We can't let it go. And that's okay. It's perfectly acceptable because we have ignorance, because we have greed, hatred, and delusion. That's how it's going to be. So once you realize that, then there's no reason to berate yourself and be down on yourself that you're not ready to let go yet. That's how it is. That's what I tell myself. I say, you're just not there yet. I've said that to other, when I was at Bhavana with the junior monks, when all of us together, I was like, well, man, you're just not there yet. And some monks took that as like an offense, like I was looking down at people. I said, no, I say this to myself. This is how I, have compassion for myself when I can't let go of something. Well, you're just not there yet. What does that imply? It implies that you can be there. You can go there, right? You're on the way. You're on the journey of letting go, right? And so that's what I remind myself of. It's okay, right? I'm not yet ready to let go permanently of the burden. Right? When I am ready, it won't be a hard thing to fully let it go permanently, forever. The English here says, oh, okay, well, the Pali is better because the English, so you have viraga. Viraga is abandoning of passion. Nirodho, cessation, right? Letting go, abandoning of enchantment, abandoning of passion, letting it go. Nirodho, ceasing, freedom, right? So this is what I think often of that statement in the Dhammapada, how it says, what the wise view as blissful, the average person views as suffering. And what the average person views as blissful, the wise view as suffering. Right? Right? For the average person, it seems like suffering to let go. But actually, it's blissful. Letting go of the conceit I am is the highest bliss. right? And you do start to get little glimpses of it. You might not be ready for it to really fully understand it, but you do start to get little glimpses. And you know, it's like, oh, this is actually quite peaceful. This is actually quite nice. It's much nicer. Whatever people think of as happiness of getting things or whatever, it's so much nicer to have a peaceful, quiet mind. So much nicer to let go and feel lighter and freer. It's so much nicer. But then, of course, that lasts only a little bit. And then you're back to craving and clinging again. That's the way it goes. But you got a glimpse. You saw, it's like, oh, this is possible. And this is preferable. I kind of like this. Right? So this is wonderful lines of laying down the burden. Right? If you can't do it permanently, practice doing it temporarily. When you meditate, remind yourself before you meditate, let's lay down this burden for now. You can pick it back up later. And you know what that gives you? Like a woman messaged me about 3 weeks ago, and she said, Bhante, she says, I love when you do the guided meditations, you talk about laying down the burden because you gave me license to let go. And I was like, oh yeah. Like I you know, like that she didn't feel like she could let go. Like there was like there was a law against letting go. Right? But when she did my guided meditation, she said, oh, you gave me license to let go. Thank you. Right? That's the silliness of our mind. It's like, oh, somebody says I can let go? I can actually do it? This is amazing. So practice letting go. This is the thought of the day, right? This is what to reflect on. Laying down the burden. Practice it in little steps, right? Little bitty steps. Laying down the burden. Letting go. The grand laying down the burden and letting go is for some time in the future. You have to build up to that. So with these words, friends, I wish you a very spiritually successful and peaceful day. Sukhi Hotu, may you be happy. Practice well and be well.